not touching the mic. Can you hear me?
Yes.
What if I walk over here?
No.
Not so much.
No.
So is it a control thing where I have to like...
Suck it.
It's like a cock.
Did you say suck and talk? And you said control it.
Suck it. Suck it. It's like...
There you go.
Yeah.
When does the time start officially?
Now.
Does it start?
Now.
Great. That doesn't work for me, generally speaking. Okay, so hi. I'm Evelyn Axe, and cheers everyone. I have heard a lot of amazing stories tonight. I have to say that Archon, I said his name earlier, church and all that, and then Rain just now, and of course Lauren, and I have all these stories. I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm a professional dominant. I'm a dominatrix, known in common parlance, but also a lifestyle dominant, meaning that I have a lot of people in my life who I top, who I take care of, and I make a distinction between topping and doming, and I just want to make that distinction very quickly by saying that doming is kind of psychological and about controlling and containing a space psychologically, and topping is more of a sexual space about containing that space physically in the moment and being the giver more than the receiver. And I have been trained my entire life to be an impeccable top and dominant, which is what brings me to my taboo tonight. So my taboo is not really about that taboo of taboos, because I could tell you stories about bloodletting, cutting, shitting, fucking, shitting, bloodletting, vomiting, bottoming, shitting, fuckletting, all the same bloodletting at the same time, controlling someone, steel rods in their urethra, and completely bound and spun up in the air with electrodes and da-da-da-da. I love all these ideas, and I do it all the time. But my taboo tonight is a confession kind of thing for you, which is why I'm really tense. Okay?
We can tell.
Whoever you are, fuck you. Thank you, and fuck you. So, I'm gonna loosen up, how about that? So I want to give you some background as to what has made me a really amazing top and dominant, so that I have this kind of reputation that precedes me, and that people are afraid of me when I walk in a room. People come up to me and be like, oh, I've always wanted to talk to you. 5 years. Really? Well, hello. And it's like, and the dance goes on. But it actually comes from a space of, I think, I'm not a bio versus socialization person. I think that we're combined personalities. I think that I probably was born fairly spunky. But I do come from this background that I need to kind of let you know about. So, my father died when I was 18 months old. And in a moment I'm going to try to explain what that means further around daddy play, which is what I'm leading to here very slowly. So, father died at 18 months old, mother, single mother, schizophrenic, and driving alcohol dependent. Very rough childhood, shall we say, just bouncing around, kind of a lot of challenges, a lot of familial subjects who sexually like to enjoy a young girl. And I learned very early to start to try to control things in my mind, to look around me and say, these are things that can't be controlled, therefore I'm going to control them in other ways. So I'm going to teach you how to be controlled. I'm going to take control of this situation. And so I became a really, really, really good top. All of my lovers from the time I started, which was about 12. I'm 46 now, I'll out myself in that way too, I don't give a shit. So here we are, right. I learned very early to top, to dominate psychologically. No, come to me, do this, do that. But I never had to worry about being touched. You're not going to touch me. You're not going to touch, you can touch me physically, but you're not going to touch my soul, you're not going to touch my fucking heart, my sexual being in a way that matters. It wasn't really cognizant, I have to say that. Anyway, so, Daddy died. Growing up that way, it's like, oh shit, fuck. I want things to be different. If only Daddy were here, Daddy could make things different, right? In the back of my mind, continuing to grow and develop as a top and as a dom. Now, so my first experience with Daddy play, which is what I'm going to get into now, was with a woman, and we'll call her Claire. She's Australian and an accountant, very small head, really nice big tits, and a really lovely person in a lot of ways, but that's where the Daddy play first came out for me. And we played Dirty Daddy in bed, and it was really hot, and it was really nice. And I started to open up. I cracked open a little bit. It was kind of interesting. It's like, this is 15 years ago, so this is already well into my trajectory. And by the way, obviously this story is all about me, in case you hadn't noticed. I'm reaching out to you guys, but it is all about me. Because really the taboo is confession in this moment for me. So that was really an amazing experience for me, and yet that relationship imploded. And when it imploded, I of course retreated, my little girl retreated, whatever, and there was a period of time. It was actually 4 years. 4 years before I met somebody else who was able to engage in that part of me. And that person, we'll call him Larry, an Irishman, businessman. Didn't have big tits, but that's okay. It was gendered male. I mean, it was great because Claire was safe. You know, she was a woman. So even though she was a butch woman, she was safe space, thank you, to go to get out that part of me through a masculine space, but with still a woman. So he was cisgendered by a male, but great in the sense that he was really open to DS and to the psychological components. And so my little girl actually started getting a name. She started forming herself, 4 to 6 years old. Her name is Daisy. She has blonde hair. She's very impetuous, very forceful, and really does well with more of a soft hand, you know, the gloved hand, the velvet gloved hand. Then that relationship imploded. And ironically, 4 years later, I got to meet Dr. Trashenstein, the Israeli scientist. And with Dr. Trashenstein, it wasn't really fully formed about Daisy, the psychological, it was more so just ripping apart, kind of like the zombie story earlier, which is just ripping apart of everything I had protected previously, everything that I had kind of surreptitiously let out periodically, and then being left in this like state of complete and utter fucking surrender. So, my taboo tonight is to try to express to you what it's like to surrender oneself. I was talking to somebody at the bar earlier and it's like, oh no, you don't understand. My story's not funny. It's not funny. I'm funny all the time. I teach classes. I'm hilarious all the time. I'm telling a really intense and kind of deeply emotional story as a confessional because I don't do that. I've never done that. This is my first time. I am... So my taboo tonight is not about fucking with shit and piss and blood and vomiting and controlling people and doing all the beautiful and amazing things that I love doing. It's about actually confessing my fucking soul to you guys and allowing surrender to happen in the moment. And my surrender in this moment is being here with you. So thank you.